Hey, my name is Matt. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer based out of Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, just north of Milwaukee. These are 7 things that I wish I knew when I started my wedding photography company. Number 1, photography doesn't matter. This might sound kind of funny because isn't the whole thing about photography? Yes and no. Really, you're getting into business. What matters the most is your presentation and client experience. The most successful wedding photography companies are not always the best photographers. What they're the best at is their marketing, their presentation, and their client experience. To be successful in the industry, your presentation and your client experience has to be top notch. That being said, your work does need to meet or exceed the level of expectation you created with that presentation, or you will nosedive. Work on your photography, but spend a heck of a lot of time on your presentation, website, Instagram, stuff like that. Number 2, don't make your own presets. This might also sound a little bit weird because you might be saying, hey, I'm an artist, I want this to be unique to me. That's great, that's fantastic. But I'll tell you what, if you buy a pre-made preset, it's gonna be a lot more consistent and a lot more fine-tuned than anything you're gonna create just starting out. It takes time and practice to get to the point where you can make a preset that actually works and looks good. If you wanna get a running start in the industry, buy a preset. It'll save you a heck of a lot of time and make you a lot more successful a lot quicker. That being said, I don't sell presets. I don't sell workshops or anything. So this isn't a marketing ploy to try to get you to buy my product. This is just me telling you what I would have done starting over. Whether you use purchased presets or not, it's very important that you edit your own images so you understand color science in relation to light. This will make you a better shooter and will help you to understand composition and light so much better. It's gonna make your work look incredible. Number 3, don't overcharge. The first wedding I ever shot, I got paid $200 for more than 8 hours of shooting time and a heck of a lot of time in the editing booth. That was completely fair and reasonable. Why? Because that's where my level of work was at, that's where my level of experience was at, and that's where my client experience was at. I got paid what I was worth, and that was totally okay. Early on in my career, I was getting told, you need to be charging more, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. Almost to the point where people are like shaming you for charging the prices that you're charging. The market will largely dictate what you're able to charge. If your product and experience do not match your price, you're not going to make sales, and if you do, it's not going to be a good thing for your company. Your price has to match your product, and it has to make sense in the industry, in the market that you're in. Go around, make some friends, ask people prices, information you can collect and find. Look at yourself honestly in the mirror, look at your product compared to somebody else's and say, okay, is my product that good? Can I charge that much money? If you do that, you're gonna make a heck of a lot more sales because you'll be more accurately priced to what your value is. Don't let people shame you for having lower prices. It's totally okay. It's part of growth. It's part of learning. Some people excel super fast in the business. Some people it takes years. It took me a while. I think it's better to take on more work at a lower price than to get a big head and try to charge more than you're worth. The more work you have, the more experience you have, the bigger portfolio you have, you're a better photographer, more experienced photographer, you'll be able to sell a little bit easier. If you overcharge to start out, it will stunt the growth of your business. It's better to charge an accurate price for your value in the market than it is to try to overprice and try to make all this money. You're gonna get more bookings, which will make you a better photographer because you'll have more experience and you'll have a bigger portfolio. You'll run into so many situations and lighting scenarios, and just the pure practice of having all these shoots over and over and over, learning how to manage workload and have workflows, that's gonna make your whole business run smooth, and it's gonna grow just from having that much work. You get better. That's just part of life. You get better from doing it more, not rocket science. When the time comes, then you can raise your prices. Don't short yourself, get your prices where they should be. That'll make you book more, and also it'll be a little bit more ethical. People appreciate that. When they feel like they paid a fair price, they appreciate that. Number 4, a professional web design. I just did this not too long ago. I put it off for so many years because I didn't want to spend the money. I thought I can do this myself. I'm a photographer. I'm great with design. Reality was, no, I'm not great at design. I'm terrible at it. A website is your storefront. That's the first thing people see when they look you up. That's their first judgment of you as a photographer and a business person is off of that website. So you want to put your best foot forward. If you're not great at it, I suggest that's the first thing you do because that will make it easier to sell and get bookings. Not only that, but it'll save you a heck of a lot of time and one major headache from trying to do it yourself. If you're great at design and copywriting and whatnot, maybe you don't need to do this. Maybe you can do it yourself. Maybe you're fast at it and good at it. Fantastic, all the power to you. I'm talking about my own personal experience here, so that's what I would have done if I started over my business again. Somebody else can communicate my value better than I can on a website, so I chose to hire that out. Saved me a lot of time. Amazing. Number 5, stop chasing ideal clients. This might ruffle a few feathers because anyone who's ever watched a business video or read a self-help book or anything like that has heard the word ideal client. They love using it. Most of the people who are using it are trying to get you to purchase a workshop or an online course to make you just as successful and awesome as the person selling it. The reality is, you're in the service industry. You're gonna be dealing with people. You're gonna be dealing with tough clients all the time. It's part of life. It's part of the business. No matter how big and successful or how small, every single photographer every year deals with tough clients. I'd be willing to bet that if somebody told you they only work with their ideal clients, chances are they're probably lying to you. Chances are they're at home pulling their hair out over clients at least once in a while. That being said, it is good to know your ideal client, and that will make sense as you grow your company. You'll see who's booking you and why. Keep pushing your work to market and advertise towards that kind of people. That will make it easier to book and you can charge higher prices. But when you first start out, your ideal client is the person who's willing to pay you money to take your picture. Am I being a bit harsh? Absolutely. I'm trying to get a point across here, people. The more successful you get, the more selective you can get with clients, but you will never escape dealing with tough people. It's part of life in every area. Number 6, get an accountant. I personally hate all tax stuff. I got the advice to do it myself when I started out. I get why, but I just didn't have the interest or the drive to do taxes myself. Getting an accountant saved me a ton of time, it saved me money, and made sure everything was legal and set to go. No mistakes. I like that. Maybe you're somebody who can figure that stuff out, likes numbers, likes reading a lot of legal stuff. I don't, but that's my suggestion for those of us who are more prefer to take pictures rather than be dealing with that stuff. Saves you a ton of time, a ton of money. Well worth it, in my opinion. Number 7, don't listen to advice. This one's a little bit more of an encouragement than anything. When you start a business, all kinds of people are gonna reach out to you and talk to you and wanna give you advice. When I started my company, I had people literally seeking me out, wanting to sit me down and tell me how to run my business. Most of those people thought they could do that because they watched a motivational video on YouTube and read a couple success books for self-help, business, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad or whatever, and now they're the gurus of life and they understand how everything works and they're gonna give you advice. I'm being a little bit harsh here too, but this just really annoys me when people try to give you unsolicited advice that is grounded in absolutely nothing, especially not in your own industry. Don't listen to them. You don't have to. You probably know better than them. Sometimes it's good just to vent out some ideas or thoughts to different people, but you don't have to take their advice. They probably don't know. They're probably not actually entrepreneurs or business people. What I would suggest, however, find people in your market, in your field, who already have an established, successful company. Get in touch with them, see if you can do some second shooting for them, see if you can meet with them. I've gotten turned down by tons of people doing this, but 1 or 2 people will meet with you, and it is gonna be extremely valuable. You'll learn the most from the people in your market who are actually living it and doing it, and you'll learn the most if you actually are on a job with them and see how are they operating. That will make you a heck of a lot more successful in the photography business. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you're just starting out, I hope this video was helpful for you. hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment. It helps us to make more of these videos. This has been Matt with Forte Films and Stills. We'll see you on the next one.